In now for everyone. All right.
Yeah, please do.
It's
How you doing?
uh, it's a great song. I recommend rocking out to it all the time. I'm doing well, man. How are you?
Hey, no complaints here. Living life, enjoying the days.
I like your place that you're at the moment. Nice, nice vibe.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And I have the right attire on for this.
Yeah, yeah,
I thought some people might appreciate it.
yeah.
Got this in Japan.
I love it.
Yeah.
Did you buy that or did you get given or what?
No, I actually bought this. I We had finished up filming Infinite Darkness about 2 years ago, and we were just going to like a local mall, check out Japan, see the local areas, and I saw this hanging on a rack, and I was like, I gotta have this.
Yes, I love it.
It's
I
my big. I
love it,
had
man.
to buy it. I had to
So how do you not wear it everywhere you go?
because I don't want to get it dirty. So I
Oh
wear it
yeah.
for special occasions,
Okay.
like this interview.
Thank you. I've seen you dress up as Leon. A few people were going to ask if you were going to do the full cosplay. Um, but when's the
Yeah,
last time you did that?
it's been a while. I
Yeah.
love doing that. I love it, but it takes me about an hour to 90 minutes to get into it because I do everything. I dye the eyebrows, I do the blue contacts, I do all the blood, all the distressing, everything. So for this was easy.
Nice. A few people here are saying you got a lovely beard. That's a bit random, but there you go.
Thank you.
You take any
Appreciate that.
compliments we can get. Now, straight off
Yeah,
the
yeah.
bat, guys, um, just save your Resident Evil 4 remake questions for another day. I'm sure you get hassled all the time about this game because everyone wants it, and
All the time. Yeah.
you probably get this message every day. So let's just say Nick can't say anything about the game, even if he was working on it. He's not going to tell us here today. So just know that it's look. If the game ever does happen, we're going to be excited when it does release or when they do a trailer or you know what I mean. So why would we want to spoil the surprise if it is coming? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly. But thank you all for being here. We're gonna have a nice little chat, answer some cool questions, and chew the cud. Is that what they say?
Shoot the shit, I say.
Shoot the shit. I'm gonna shoot the shit all day. Now, a little something. There is a very slight chance I'm going to have to let in a maintenance person in back of me, in which case I'll just pause briefly.
All
That
good,
might
man.
happen, and I will have to wrap up around about 20 past 4 because then I have a Zoom call to get to. It's a session that I have to be a part of. Go work.
No worries, man. All good. And we thank you for taking the time out today. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah. So let's get into it. You've been interviewing all the cast from Village, man. I've been seeing that, and
You're probably
yeah,
thinking, who is this guy? What is he
no,
doing?
no, I really, really appreciate content creators, and I can't wait to play Village because so many of my friends are in it. I gotta wait. I gotta wait because I got a tradition with my little bro. Every time a Resident Evil game comes out, we play it together, pull all nighters, and he lives in Boston. I live in LA, so I gotta wait possibly a few months to play the damn game. But I've heard the best things about it. The cast seems so cool and interesting, so I can't wait personally.
Great cast of people. Great game.
Yeah.
And just, I love the direction they went with 7. And I know you played it in VR. It's just a visceral experience, isn't it? It's just,
Oh, loved it. I can't say enough about VR. I think 7 brought the series back to its roots of survival horror. Like for the first time in many, many years, I was petrified in this old like manor, southern manor that you're in the family. They're not even that innately scary, but they were horrifying because they were stalking you. Their personalities were like the everyday creepo, and then Marguerite's form. I fell in love with 7, and for all those who have not tried it in VR, I think you should.
yeah, I think I played a lot of it in PSVR. It's just, the only thing for VR for me is I get a little bit queasy after a little bit. I don't know if you have the same problem.
A little bit. You know what helps with that, if anyone has a similar effect, is for me, body temperature. Controlling that helps with my nausea. And so
Really?
if I'm
Yeah.
in VR, I'll have like a fan blowing at me to keep my head cooled off a little bit so I don't overheat and
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
puke, you know.
Yeah. I'm surprised. I'm not sure why they didn't do VR in Village. Might just have been too
Uh,
much of a stretch.
I don't know if they had that tech capability on PS5 yet.
That's what I think it is. Yeah.
I think they want to showcase the unbelievable graphics of the PS5, and if they did it in VR, the graphics would have suffered a bit, just like it did on 7, and it probably would have been closer to PS4 graphics.
Have you got a
I think they're
PS5
gonna.
yet?
No, I've been on like a waiting list for a while, and right now they're just doing all these like package sales for 800-900 bucks with all these games. I'm probably not going to play, so I'm going to wait until they just sell the console, and then I'll pick it up.
Because I saw you were playing. You tweeted yesterday that you were playing Resident Evil 1, the first one. Yeah. Was that on PS4? You were going back.
It's on PS4. I
Yep.
just, I picked it up a couple months ago, so I'm just revisiting that. And I dove in last night for about 4 or 5 hours. I played a little bit today, actually, and it just reminded me of like why I fell in love with the series way back when. What a stellar game! Have you played it?
I have. Yeah. 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 It's a throwback, isn't it?
It's a throwback, but it's so freaking good. And the save room music. I'm gonna play that at my
Oh,
wedding. That will be my wedding song.
I don't doubt it,
Ladies, help
man.
that.
Oh man, that's so good. Yeah. So you just a couple hours in, or what? How far did you get?
uh, Halfway through the residence.
Oh, yep. Yep.
I'm taking my time with it. I'm just soaking it all in.
So you obviously played the second one, the original Resident Evil 2.
That was the first one I ever played in '98.
Oh, you played it back in '98.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
the first time
wow.
I fell in love with Resident Evil. It was way back then. My mother wouldn't let me play the first one, and then 2 years later, I had to sleep over a friend's house to play the second one, and I slept over a bunch of nights, and we beat that shit. And ever since then, I was just like, this is my franchise.
Oh man, I love that you're a gamer too, man. Because a lot of the times, the actors don't play or don't know much about it. I
It
just,
makes a difference.
you reckon it does?
I reckon it does. And that's because you understand the universe, you understand the fandom, you understand how games typically work. Now, of course, you can just act and do a fantastic job. You don't have to be a gamer to be a great video game actor. But I'll tell you right now, my fandom helped me get this job
Really?
because when I auditioned for this, let me sorry about that. I have to look at my phone in case that call
Oh,
comes in
good,
from
man. Oh,
maintenance.
good.
But anyways, back to the point. When I auditioned for RE2, I laid it all on the table. Even in my submission, they probably got about 2,000 submissions for Leon, maybe 5,000, I don't even know. And in my notes, I said, I'm a giant fan. I know all the characters. I know all the relationships. I know everything. You got to let me audition. They called me in, so I made that cut. And then I auditioned. I prepped the hell out of it. And I understood who Leon was. I understood his relationship with Ada and the other characters and Claire. So going in, I had a little edge. And I spoke with the director on set, in the audition room. And I said, listen, I'm laying it on the table. This is in my heart. I said, if you guys give me a chance, I will absolutely play a version of Leon that works, and I'll give you everything I got. I was so fucking dedicated.
Oh, I love
So
that,
does it make a
man.
difference? I think it does.
You've just won me over. I love that, man. Absolutely love it. And so then when you got the call up that you're in it, what's your reaction, man? You must have just been over the moon.
I had to sit down, man.
Yeah.
I it was a long process, from the first time they said, okay, you have an audition until the time I booked it. That was probably a good 3.5 weeks. And that whole 3.5 weeks, like, my tension was just like through the roof. And every night I thought about it. Every morning I couldn't sleep, and it was eating me. I was like, I got to book this job. This is my life. This is my legacy here, as an actor. And then so when that call came, I was actually painting a house. That was my mood lighting job, and I was painting, and the casting called me, and they said, do you want to be Leon Kennedy? We want you to play the guy." And I was like, "You fucking kidding me?" She's like, "No, no, no, fucking kidding you. You want to play him?" I was like, "Oh, oh yeah." I
I'll
was like,
think
"Hold on a
about it.
second."
Yeah.
So after the call, I had to sit down. I had to just pat myself on the back and be like, "You fucking did it."
Oh man, that's
So
so
it
cool.
was that was a long time ago. That was 5 years ago, and I'm still over the moon.
Yeah. Wow, man, that's awesome. So, did you play the second one again in the lead up, or did you play four in the lead up, or did you stay away? How did you prepare? Do you remember?
I think I celebrated with my little bro, and we played a couple titles here and there just to revisit the world. But no, I didn't. I actually stayed away from two, and that's because I didn't want to be overly influenced by it because that was their direction specifically. They're like, "Look,
Mm.
we know you're a fan, but we're not trying to copy exactly what has been done. This is absolutely a reimagining." Uh, God love him, rest his soul. Paul Haddad, I love that guy. He's a great guy, and he did it. He introduced me to Leon, to one of my favorite characters. But they said, don't try to be him, don't try to mimic him. They said we cast you as a new version of young Leon because we see that essence inside of you. You don't have to change a thing. We want you to inject your personality. And so I did. So I didn't play two. I played two after.
I thought you would say that because you don't want it to, you want to give your own interpretation on the character,
Yeah.
don't you? You don't want to
Yeah.
be persuaded, or even if you don't know it, you just want to go in fresh. And I'm sure you've had. I mean, what an incredible game it was! Like, you must have been thrilled. The reception, the reviews. I mean, it was. I don't know what the Metacritic is. It's somewhere in the 90s. Uh,
It's
it's
high. It's
it's
high.
it's such a good game. They just nailed it. And I was a skeptic that, because I loved the original, and I was thinking, oh, I hope they could do it justice, and they just knocked it out, didn't they?
Yeah, one of the caveats of getting a job like this, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. It's cool as shit to do that, but then you take a second and realize what you're about to do.
Yeah.
And as a fan, I understood how deep and loyal this fan base is, and I knew that there was going to be a lot of like scrutiny on this game
Mm,
and this character, and so then I
mm,
was like, "Oh shit, like that's mounting pressure right there."
mm.
What if they hate me? What if I'm not like welcomed into the family? And so yes, the reception of the game was, I think it exceeded everyone's expectations, let alone mine, but Capcom, everybody, it sold very well. And we are just happy to always have been a part of that. It's a part of history now.
Yeah.
So I'm really thankful.
Do we know the sales now?
It's probably north of 7.5 to 8.5 million.
Wow. What a success. And you've obviously played it a bunch of times since then.
Oh yeah, I've beat it probably a good dozen times now, and
Yeah.
I started during the pandemic. I started playing with some speedrunners, and I got to like just over 2 hours on some runs and everything. So
Oh, you did
not,
playing.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, so you've nailed it. You're a pro now, hey?
Ah, a little rusty at this point. But like I said, I'm revisiting like all the old classics right now. That's the kind of mode I'm in.
So are you on Twitch at the moment? Because I know you've got an account, but do you stream much or not really?
I've been really busy as of late, and I started to do a little streaming. It's just easier right now with my lifestyle and the work that I do to just be a guest on people's Twitch accounts. I haven't even fully figured out like the tech, and I'm not comfortable enough to just hop on Thursday night and invite everybody in. In my heart, I want to do that. A lot of people ask me, when am I going to start streaming? I've been a gamer for 30 years. Yeah, of course I want to play and like have all you guys watch and let me interact with you and stuff. But when I jump on as a guest, it's easier for me to multitask, and I can talk with my friend, watch the
Yeah.
game, and I can also look at chat and actually give them some attention. The problem with me as a gamer is I get so fucking focused when I play, and I'm like, I just dive in, and
You
it's like,
don't talk
oh,
much? Yeah.
chat's been here. Well,
Yeah.
I can, but I'm either gonna be shit at the game or shit at the chat. I almost can't do both. Like, I'm the type of guy,
I
I
know what
can't
you
walk and
mean.
chew
Yeah.
gum at the same time.
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so for anyone in chat who's been following me, I want to stream, and I will be, and I'm just gonna freaking get good at it. But in the meantime, stay tuned.
We've got some great questions in here. I just wanted to ask you quickly. So you said that you wrapped shooting on Infinite Darkness 2 years ago. Did I hear that correctly?
Something like that.
Wow. So this has been in the pipeline for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. And are you excited? July 8th, am I right?
Hell yeah, we're excited. It's a new adventure.
First ever animated series for the franchise?
I think so.
Shit. I can't wait, man. Do we know any details on it? Is there anything you can say on this?
I mean, aside from what has been released publicly, which is not much.
Yeah, we've got a
I'm
trailer.
not. Yeah, we got whatever you guys see in the trailer. I mean, that's kind of fair game, but there's not much regarding plot that I can talk about. We haven't been cleared to say anything, and even little details that I might say, it might include huge spoilers. And
No, we don't want that.
I don't want Capcom breathing down my
Do we
neck,
know
so
how many episodes yet?
that hasn't been released yet.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'd say
I'm hoping for a few. Can you win?
75.
So that was all? I think people will be shocked to know that was all PCAP as well, wasn't it? Performance capture, yeah?
It was, yes. Stephanie and I went, Stephanie Penicello, who played Claire, we went to Japan together, and we had a great team, had the time of our lives. I mean, the first time that I had been to Tokyo. Tokyo's gorgeous. The food, oh my goodness. If you like Japanese food, Tokyo just has it all. I can't wait to go back. I really, really want to visit. And I was supposed to go back to Japan to visit. And I wanted to visit Capcom headquarters in Osaka, but the pandemic kind of changed a lot, as we all know.
Was there much difference from doing RE2 to that?
Yeah, I think as an actor, when you're doing a game, you're given a lot of little cinema story points that you film, but there's a lot of meat in between those, and so it's hard to envision what the story is going to look like, because when the gamer is controlling Leon or Claire, that could be hours in between the plot points, and there is story happening, but you don't see it, so it's kind of like disjointed in a way. I was just very familiar with RE2, the story, because I'm such a fan. But with Infinite Darkness, when you're doing performance capture for, scene for scene in this, like, just it's written out like a movie or a TV show, and so you see the whole plot unfold. And like when I played RE2 remake for the first time, a lot of things surprised me. I didn't know where the scenes were going to be.
Of course, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know, would you? Yeah,
you wouldn't know because it's such a long game. Whereas with the Netflix series, it's just like very kind of linear. You just film it just like a movie. It's like, wow, this is going to be actually pretty cool. Oh yeah, that scene happens right there. Yeah, I get it. So I think less is going to surprise me with Infinite Darkness.
But there are scenes that you're obviously not in, but you still know about them because you've read the script. I'm guessing you've seen the whole everything.
I think it's because we were given the entire script.
Yeah.
Whereas again, with I would say with most video games, I don't think they come in the form of like a movie script. So it's not like, there's the beginning all the way to the end. It's just chopped up scenes that they need to film as fillers to keep the story moving.
Yeah. So have you seen it yet, or are you waiting like the rest of us, or you can't say, or what?
They keep everything pretty close to the chest. Every time a trailer dropped, I didn't even know that was going to happen. I found out because someone tagged me on Twitter.
That's crazy. What's
they
going on?
They didn't even give me a heads up. Like,
I know.
what? Next Monday, trailer's going to drop. So I find out just like you do. So I have no idea.
That is bizarre.
Hey, it's whatever.
So the Japanese dub for this, they obviously just had to do ADR over the top of you, I'm guessing.
Yep.
Yeah, because sometimes it'd be the other way around, wouldn't it? You might have to do it, but it's cool that you guys were doing the main bits. I love it. Now I'm gonna have to get you back on once it comes out for a little spoiler cast.
Spoiler, yeah.
if you're around, eh?
After July 8th, it'll be fair game. You can ask me anything you
I
want to
think
ask
there'll be a few requests though. I better get in early. Keep a date free for me, mate, please. No, I'm really looking forward to it, mate. It looks fantastic, and I think everyone's very excited about this show. David here has a question. Glad to see you're playing Leon, Nick.
Thank you.
When did you first play a Resident Evil game?
98.
98. We already mentioned that.
OGRE2.
Have you played it? Is there any that you're missing out of the main lines besides Village?
I don't think I played the only ones, probably Operation Raccoon City.
Yep.
Dark Side Chronicles. And
Okay.
That might be it.
But they're on the list.
Of course.
Paige here says RE Remake was my favorite RE game ever. Honestly, I love it so much, Nick.
HD remake, the
No,
first
your one, I think.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. But have you played all of them? That's the question.
Did you end up playing 3 with your brother in the end?
Oh yeah.
You did?
Oh,
Yeah. Because I was just wondering, because of COVID and all that, if you got the chance, because the game came out during the pandemic.
Yeah, so I had to wait. That game came out in April, and I had to wait until December to get to Boston, and I had to quarantine, and then I got to stay with my parents back in Boston, and my little brother was there. I got to have 3 weeks of video games with him, so we played RE3. I beat it 2 times with him. We revisited 7 and played a lot of board games too.
To see what board games? I could ask you that.
We're huge into Scrabble. Scrabble and
Scrabble,
Monopoly.
yeah. Nice. Nice. How was your brother happy to see you in the game? Was he ecstatic? What was his reaction?
Yeah, he died. He died too. Because we it's such a tradition. Like, we just love those games, and
Yeah.
you know, when it came out, he's just like, I can't believe you are voicing like one of my favorite characters. And I'm like, yeah, I can't believe it either. And I'm the guy.
So does he say now he's not my favorite character anymore, or does he go the opposite way?
No, I don't. He's never said that. No.
That's good, man. Alyssa says, "What's it like playing Leon?"
What is it like? Well, I mean, I'm spilling my guts here. It's an honor. That's the best way to describe it for me. It's an honor to step into his shoes. He's very iconic. He's been around for 23 years as a character in pop culture. It's an honor. You know, as a performer, I've been acting for 11 years, 12 years. I know people that have been acting for longer than that, and it's not often you get the opportunity to work on a project that you love so much. As an actor, a lot of times you take what you can get. You know, you take the roles that come at you, and I have all my career, but when this came around, it's like, this opportunity is going to be hard to top.
Oh yeah, but you never know. The Hunter. Have you ever met Paul Mercer, the voice actor for Leon in Resident Evil 4?
Yes, I have. He's actually a very, very nice guy. Very nice.
Awesome. Love it. Comrade Nick, thank you for the effort you put into the performance for Resident Evil 2. Your enthusiasm for the series really shows, and I love that you're able to transfer that positive energy into the creative process.
Hell yeah. That's what I was going for, so thank you.
Resident Evil 2 is the perfect remake. That's from Robert. Kyle says, "Why are you hotter than Leon?" I'm sorry, I had to read it out. It's a compliment.
Know the answer to that.
You don't need to answer that. It's all good. Far out. Thomas says, "Will the Redfield bloodline continue?" How often do you hear that?
Man, I think I see that more than anything else, and it's not my position to say. It's not up to me, really.
You don't have any thoughts on it? Okay. Jesse, how cool is it that you really have a connection with the role you're going to play?
Repeat that. What?
How cool is it that you really already have a connection with the role you're going to play? Like, you already knew the character quite well before playing it.
Well, like I said, it's kind of a double-edged sword. I had the edge in the audition. I understood the character and his motivations, but then again, you also understand the pressure. Let me put it this way. RE4 became my favorite game in the series because that is the game that I introduced my little brother to the series with. So a friend introduced me with RE2. A bunch of years later, I got to do the same thing to my little brother, who was like my little protege. You know, I got him into all his hobbies, music, sports, and drawing and building and all that stuff, and then video games. Started him off on Nintendo and Super Nintendo, and then we got him into GameCube.
You sound like me with my little brother, by the way.
Yeah, it's a special bond. You know, he's been one of my best friends all my life. And so we loved RE4. We played that game. We beat it like maybe 100 times. I fell in love with Paul Mercier's voice. Okay. I got attached to that. When they changed Leon's voice to Matthew Mercer in 6, nothing against Matthew Mercer. I think he's an incredibly talented VO guy, actor, and you know, he does Critical Role and everything like that. He's uber talented. But even I, as a fan, I didn't like that change. And so when you internalize that, you're like, oh shit, I'm just a fan. What about the millions of fans that got attached to Paul Mercier just like me, or who loved Matthew Mercer? They're going to say the same thing about me. So that's why it's a double-edged sword, because I understood the fandom and how you get attached to different actors. And the honest truth is, you can't always make everybody happy. When games come out, they're not trying to make everybody happy. You can't do that in life in general with anything. And so they do what they think is right. And what's good about the Resident Evil franchise is that it is very much multi-generational. What I mean by that is, right now in the world, there are 5-year-old fans of that franchise, believe it or not, and there are 65-year-old fans of that franchise. And I know this for a fact because I get family friends who shit their pants when I was cast as Leon. And these guys are like 55, 60 because they grew up with it way back when. They were like in their 20s when the games came out, and they've been playing ever since.
Yeah.
So they just that was a long-winded answer to that. I hope.
No. That's why it's so cool that they remake them for people that have, you know, there's how many people of those 8 million that bought Resident Evil 2 remake hadn't played it before.
A lot of them are new.
Exactly. A lot of them are new.
I get messages all the time saying, it's my favorite game of all time. You know, you introduced me to Resident Evil, and these kids, a lot of them are probably like aged 10 to 18, you know, and now they'll go back and they'll play all the originals. Some of the originals are hard to play if you grew up with PS4.
The camera angles and stuff,
versus me, who I grew up with Atari and Nintendo. I don't know how old you are, I'm not going to ask, but like, we're going way back.
I'm 27. I'm
27?
Yeah.
You're a baby. Yeah.
How old are you?
The first console I ever played was Atari, and then my aunt bought me a Nintendo in 1990 when I was 6.
1990 when I was 6. Okay. That's look, you don't look a day over 30, mate. Okay.
I'm 37. Yeah.
Oh, you're going all right. You need to give us some tips
Just eat cookies and ice cream all day. That's my
Okay, that sounds great.
that
That
that is
sounds
my
great.
advice. Cookies and ice cream, Oreos
So,
specifically.
so Resident Evil 5 and 6, probably the um, dip in the franchise, let's say. How did you find those games? You can be completely honest if you liked them, you didn't. How did you
Oh, how do I
find?
like them?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I loved five because that was the first one that was co-op.
Mm-hmm.
The first like major titled game, big campaign and everything like that. So my little bro and I, we played the hell out of five. Mercs, I still to this day
Yeah, you
link
played
up
with
with friends
Sphere Hunter the
online.
other day, didn't you?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
still play Mercs. I think that's the best version of it personally. That never gets old. And then six, I appreciate six for what they did, and that is they intertwined some giant ass stories all into one game. That game has basically four campaign modes, fucking huge. Pardon my French.
It's
And
ambitious.
also, it's ambitious, and each campaign has a different play style.
Mm.
It, that is brilliant in itself. And they brought in all the characters, all people's favorites, a couple new ones. Um, did it feel like a Resident Evil game at heart to me? No.
Mm.
Probably one of the worst in the series for, I think, the heart of Resident Evil, but I still enjoyed it. I beat every campaign maybe twice. I just haven't revisited it, that's all. And I didn't like Mercs as much as I did five. That's my honest answer.
That is exactly. We share the exact same opinion.
Yeah,
You
I
just
don't
took
hate
out the
on it.
words out of my mouth.
I don't hate on it. I just don't love it. That's
Yeah,
all.
I played the hell out of it too. I just haven't gone back. Whereas the others, I probably would go back if that makes any sense. Shane, hey Nick, I hope you're having a great day. I love your performances, Leon. I'd love to see you return in future games. Love from Ireland.
Thank you. We were supposed to do a convention in Ireland a couple of years ago, and it got canceled like the day before. Always wanted to go to Ireland. If Dublin or any place has a convention, tag the shit out of us online and tag that convention because we want to go. We want to meet you all.
So have you been to Australia?
I might be working in Australia this year.
Whoa, nice,
Yeah,
nice,
yeah. Never been. Always wanted to go.
nice. Is that for a film or you can't say?
It's for a build show that I do. We have 2 seasons out where we go around and help communities all around the world, and they're
Oh
looking to
yeah,
do season
yeah. The
three.
Fixer, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Ah.
I'm also a builder. I've been a builder for about 20 years.
So how often do you do that show? How big of a commitment is that?
We've done 2 seasons, and when we sign on, we have 10 episodes, and each episode is in a different country, typically. The only thing that slowed down season 2 was the pandemic. So we did a lot of domestics here in the States, but um, if we do season 3, we're going to go to places like Thailand, Australia, Lisbon, Portugal, Africa. Like, we're going to go all over South
Wow.
America. Hmm.
I'll have to check it out, man. I don't think I've seen it before.
It's a good
But
show.
now that you're in
It's
it, I'm going to watch it. um,
Check it out. Check it out.
Feisman the Dane. Nick, what's the origin story behind your last name?
I don't know that. I don't know the origin story.
Is it Greek?
It's Greek.
It's Greek.
I'm half Greek and half Italian.
Yeah. Yeah. Paige, Nick, I'm so happy you got the part of Leon. I loved your performance, and I'm looking forward to your performance in Infinite Darkness. Goku
Thank you.
Neku, awesome job as Leon. Looking forward to more. Can you please say, Ada, wait, please stop running?
I actually don't like to read other actors' lines. That line belongs to Paul Haddad. Rest in peace. So I don't take that request, and I've heard that hundreds of times. Trust me.
How? Yeah, I
Sorry
know.
about
How
that.
many times do you get these requests?
A lot.
You got a cameo, don't you? How do you like if people ask for that? How do you say? How do you work your way around that? You just be honest.
Well, I could say I could type a message to them beforehand and just say, look, out of
Yeah,
respect for the other actors, I don't say their lines. I said,
yeah,
I'll say something that I said in my game.
yeah,
And we never have a problem.
yeah, yeah. Bonita, Nick, will you be involved in any other upcoming games that you can talk about?
I've never been a part of a video game that allowed you to talk about it before it comes out. Um, I mean, I'm working in motion capture as often as I can, but
Yeah.
we can't really talk about those until they release.
No. What if you could pick any game out of the sky, any franchise? What world would you like to be a part of? Would it be Call of Duty? Would it be um, I
Well,
don't
I'm
know.
working in Call of Duty right now. That's a big one.
You are
Um,
too. You were in the cutscene, were you? You did some mocap for them, yeah?
we did some trailers, yeah,
Trailers, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
I mean they do DLC all the time, so it's fun to be a part of that team. But if I could be in like a dream franchise, I would say a couple of them: Silent Hill,
Ooh.
Dead Space, uh, Castlevania, and I know they don't do a lot of like motion capture for this shit, but Mega Man, Mega Man all the way.
Yes. I
I
love
was
it.
actually Mega Man was outside of Mario was the first like series that I really fell in love with back in the day. I loved Mega Man so much. I formed a Mega Man club in grade school when we were in like first and second and third grade. My friends would get together at recess and we would talk about all the new bosses in the next games and draw pictures of what they should be, all the villains and everything, and Mega Man upgrades. And then every time a game came out, sometimes they had like a similar villain, and we're like, they stole that idea from me. So, giant fan of Capcom in general.
Great games, are they? Have you played
Oh yeah,
the was it a remaster or recollection or something recently?
I've played a shitload of the new ones that come out. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
love
so
them.
you want to be Mega Man, yeah? Live action film?
Why not?
Because in your early career, I know you did a lot of short films, indie films, and then now you've transitioned into this Resident Evil franchise, and obviously the Fixer and other things. Do you want to get back into doing? You want to do more films, or do you want to stay in games, or what?
Uh, well, the film and TV, it is a bit different. That's when I fell in love with acting, doing a lot of
Yeah,
smaller budget indie shorts and features and stuff. Music videos, I still love. I just don't do them as much because in the past 5 years, my focus has heavily been on motion capture, video games, voiceover, and then the building show all around the world. That's kind of eaten up like the
that's what
majority of
I
my
mean. Are you
time.
going to continue with that? I'm guessing. If you, yeah,
Look, I am of the belief, like, yeah, shoot for the stars and everything. I get it. That's great. And I do believe that. But I do believe that we have a finite amount of energy and focus every day of our lives. For every person, that's a different amount. And I think right now, a lot of energy is coming at me in the video game world. And because I've been a gamer for so long, it's in my heart. And so for me to divide my focus and try to pursue short films and stuff and lower budget feature films, like, yeah, the roles might be fun and cool, but it's just not where the world is taking me right now. I think the universe is pushing me into video games, and I'm gonna roll with it.
love it. I hope to see you more games outside of Resident Evil, brother. Ben,
Thank you.
what do you think of the live action Resident Evil films? Have you watched any of them?
Yeah, someone just asked me this in a cameo yesterday. Actually, I think the first two, like the first one, I was really excited for. I think that came out right before or after RE4. Anyways, I liked the first one. The second one started to get a little campy, but Nemesis was cool. And then they just went in this weird direction. Um, I fell off as of the third one. Yeah, I've seen them all. I didn't really like them. I'll probably never watch them again. However, I am very, very hopeful of this new one because I think they're going to revisit.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, like I think they're getting back to the heart of what Resident Evil is. I think they're going to be more uh, detail oriented, following the games a lot closer, more gritty. I think
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gonna be pretty cool. What about you?
Yeah, I've seen them all, but I like to say the games are slightly better in terms of Resident Evil.
I
Fred,
think even the CG movies have been better than the
yeah,
live actions.
yeah,
I think a lot of people agree with that opinion. It's just
yeah,
my opinion, but
yeah. They're just they're a little bit too actiony and just they don't tap into the heart of, as you said before, like six. It doesn't have the heart of Resident Evil. You know
mm,
that heart that you're talking about. It's a feeling, or I don't know, the survival horror. I don't know what it is, but
that's why I liked Seven so much.
yeah.
Some people hated on it, first person and all that. I think they missed the point. I had a heart attack in that game for the first time in about 20 years. It's like I had a heart attack playing RE again, and that's what I loved about it.
It was really scary. It really was. Just in this
Limited,
enclosed claustrophobic feeling and
yeah, limited inventory and resources, and you really felt alone. You know,
yeah, I've got it in my top three of all time. Resi games. 7.
yeah,
Seriously, I loved it.
yeah.
Pablo, Dan, can you ask Nick about the scene where Mr. X chokes Leon? Love from Argentina.
Uh,
There's a few
what
of those, I think,
what
from memory.
specifically about it?
Yeah, I don't know. That's not a mocap thing? That's animation, yeah? I think that's what he's asking.
Uh, we did mocap me doing that, so
Mm-hmm.
there was no Mr. X. He was always animated.
Mm-hmm.
No actor played him, as far as I know. They might have captured some stuff in Japan, but what we did on the day is what the hell did they do?
Because Neil Newbon, he actually played Nemesis for
Yes,
3.
it's because they wanted to humanize Nemesis more, and he did a
Ah,
fantastic job. Mr. X was a bit more automated. We'll say that.
yep.
So what they did was, I think they lifted me up with a harness around my chest to get that suspension going, and I had to pretend like I was choking and grabbing his hands around my neck, and they literally picked me off the ground. So that
Yeah.
was all real, doing the whole like like stuff like that. And so that's all I can say about that scene. That's all I remember.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
love shit like that, by the way.
Oh, I do too. Is it hard not reacting to any, because there's no Mr. X? Is it hard just reacting to nothing? You just use your imagination or what?
You got to use your imagination.
Yeah.
I mean, motion capture is at heart, it is acting. It's very much like theater.
Yeah, I always hear it's the blend of theater and film in a way. Um,
It is, yeah.
Okwaben, did you do anything special in the booth to get those reaction sounds when Leon was getting hurt?
Anything special?
Yeah. They're just efforts in a booth, yeah. After the fact, you
I
just
mean, they hurt.
yeah. After a while, yeah, they would.
You just obviously we're not feeling the physical pain, but you just have to put yourself in a situation like what would it sound like. And as a method actor, anytime I can use physicality, I'm getting hit in the stomach. You pretend like you're hitting the stomach, and you actually make that move. And if you're supposed to curdle blood because someone stabbed you in the stomach, I will literally put water, something in the back of my throat. I will gargle. I will be physical with myself, because you can choke, you can pretend all you want, and but if you have your hands there really cutting off your air supply, I don't recommend you do this. This is just what I do. But putting that pressure there where it's not natural, sounds are gonna come out, and
Yeah,
I just do what I have to do to make it sound pretty brutal and visceral. That's all.
yeah. You're not just a Leon Kennedy, Nick. I can see you as Adam Jensen if there's ever a Deus Ex live action series. What do you think?
Adam Jensen from
Deus Ex. Have you ever played those
I
games?
no, no.
Oh, you don't know them. Oh, you might like them, man. Give them a crack. I reckon you
Maybe.
You might enjoy them. Hey, so did you play all the Silent Hills? Are you a big fan of that series?
One, two, and three,
Yep.
and that's another one I just have not played in a long time, and I want to revisit because Silent Hill, the original in PS1, that was even horrifying. One and two were horrifying, and I was like, wow, another survival horror series. Like this is great.
Are you hoping they remake them?
Why not?
Yeah.
They've got a huge fan base.
Yeah. Grim Reaper, what's your opinion on doing mocap and voice acting together versus just doing voice acting? Would it be better if you only did voice acting without the added work?
Personally, no, because I'm a very physical person. I highly prefer to do the mocap at the same time because I think the delivery is different. When you're doing the actions, I mean, in the booth, when you're performing voiceover, yes, you do get physical, but there are limitations. You are in a room and you have to stay there relatively, somewhere near the mic. And when you're on set being recorded in real time, you're playing out the scenes. I just think it changes the performance. That is why a lot of games want to go full performance capture at this point, because I think in the pursuit of extreme realism in games nowadays, I think full PCAP is where you're going to get it.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing, man, what they do now in the. I hope you can hear my dog, can't you? Barking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear her, Dan. She's going off. I wanted to ask you as well, what are you playing at the moment besides Resident Evil 1? What have you played recently in terms of gaming? Did you check out The Last of Us or Ghost of Tsushima or any of those games or what?
My good friends are wanting me to download Ghost of Tsushima. They say
Yep.
it's fantastic.
Oh yeah, you'll love it.
Yeah, so that's on my list. I need to finish Last of Us. Um,
Yep.
I sometimes I mess around with just like literally Rocket League.
Nice,
I
nice.
played a lot of Warzone lately. I got a squad that I link up with Warzone.
Oh, so
Cold
you're the
War,
one killing me every game.
maybe. We did that a lot during the pandemic. It's fun. What else? That's kind of it right now. I wish I had a ton of time to play all these games. I
Yeah,
just don't. I'm kind of
Warzone's good
backlogged.
because you can just jump in for a couple of games. You don't have, there's no commitment. You know what I mean?
Last of Us is a huge commitment.
It is. It really is.
Yeah.
It's like 16, 20 hour game. Uh, shit. Jesse, do you have any favorite horror movies, Nick?
Yeah. Let's see. I've really enjoyed A Quiet Place. I mean, I have like classics, of course. Like one of my all-time favorites is The Thing. I love John Carpenter, the old Halloweens.
Can't go
Uh,
wrong.
I thought the original Conjuring was great.
You did?
S- I liked the
Yes.
original Conjuring.
It's one of my favorites.
Sinister came out about 10 years ago. I thought that was great. I like more psychological horror more than jump scares, but like John Carpenter, his 80s stuff was really good. Alien, like throwbacks to that shit. Like even Jaws, like I loved Jaws, like that kind of tension they created. So some of my favorite movies came out of the 70s when, before CG, because they had to rely on other um, gimmicks and great writing, great story, great acting. That's
Yeah.
why, horror seldom impresses me, but when it does, it really does.
Have you seen some of A24's horrors, like the Witch or
Yeah,
Midsummer?
The Witch, awesome,
Yeah, yeah,
awesome. The tone of
very
that
very
movie was
creepy.
great.
Oh,
Loved
it
it.
just sucks you in, doesn't it? You just feel so uneasy.
And that took place. Wasn't it called just Witch?
Witch, I think it was just called Witch. Yeah,
Yes. So the other reason I like that is because that I was born in Salem, Massachusetts, the witch capital of the world, they call it. And that film took place in like a fictional New England wooded area. And that's
yeah.
where I grew up. is
Oh,
places like that. So that's why I
really?
like that. Yeah.
Oh, that makes it even more creepy.
I was born in Salem. That's probably where that took place. I just
Oh,
don't think they said it.
shit, yeah, man. Something about witches gets
Mm.
me a little bit creeped out. I don't know why. Another one I recommend, Saint Maud. Have you heard of that?
No,
That's a haunting experience, man. That
I'm gonna
is
write that down. What is it?
seriously.
Because I
You
feel like I
by
trust your taste in
the
this.
last frame of Saint Maud you won't stop thinking about this last minute for the
How do you
next
spell
week.
that?
Saint and then Maud. It it
Okay,
just
cool.
it just leaves a lingering feeling. I won't spoil it, but anyway, check that one out. It's not a long movie either from memory. So,
Okay.
but I agree, Conjuring is one of my favorites. The
Pretty
first
good. Yeah.
one, first one, and then they did all the spin-offs. Now we're up to number three. But yeah, Nate here says, "Do you like the Saw franchise, Nick?"
I thought the first one was very inventive. Um, I think that like I respect the story that they always go for, but it just the torture and everything is just became pretty gross, and
Yeah,
I was just like, I don't need to see the human body getting tortured
that many
and
ways.
ripped up. In a video game, that's different, but they did such a good job at making it realistic. I was just like, oh shit, that's
Yeah,
fucked up. I don't. I would rather have the reaction to a movie of like I can't sleep at night because I'm afraid something's in the fucking corner in my room. Like that is what I'm afraid of, not
yeah,
torture.
yeah. What else are you watching at the moment, mate? Any shows or anything else that you've been binging
I don't watch TV.
at all?
Barely ever. Nope.
Wow.
The free time that I have, I'm usually playing games or catching like a rare good movie.
Yep.
Just lately, I just haven't done much of that.
Yep. Nah, fair enough. There's only so much time of the day, man. I
That's what I was saying.
completely
Yeah,
understand. If you're a gamer, it's very hard to be into TV and movies and acting and because it's
yeah. I
just
mean,
such a
I
time
also
sink.
got to be an adult. I got shit to do.
Yeah,
But
you've got a life to live.
yeah, and I like to try to give some time to my hobbies and my artwork and stuff like that. And I just can't do it all. I play guitar. I build. I do crafting stuff. I work with wood. It's like I can't do it all.
Talk to me
So
about this.
TV
Talk to
takes a back seat.
talk to me about this art that you do because I know you took a back seat from it for a while and then you got back into it. This drawing stuff that you do. Where did the love of that come from, and how'd you get back
Have you
into it?
have you seen have you seen any of it?
I've seen a little bit, yeah, and I know you're
Mm,
freaking talented.
thank you, thank you. Well,
I don't know how you do it, to be honest.
it's painstaking.
Is it?
I
Yeah.
I wouldn't call myself a very creative pencil artist,
Is it very
but I
methodical or what?
it's methodical,
Mm.
very much. I just go for realism, so I do go and create a reference picture. So I will take an image that I like.
Yep.
I will crop it to my preference. I will make it black and white. I will adjust the exposure. I love high contrast. So if you look at my style from the beginning of the pandemic to now, it has evolved quite a bit, and I really bump exposure. Um, I like bright brights and dark darks, and almost nothing in between. And so, anyways, I hadn't drawn for about 10 years. That hobby took a big backseat. And somewhere in the pandemic, I realized as an adult for the first time, I'm going to have a shitload of free time. What do I
Yep.
do with this free time? And a friend of mine said, why don't you get back into drawing? Like you said, you're an artist, right? I was like, yeah, I used to doodle all my life and I'm not really an artist. And she said, why don't you just get back into it? And we did this little drawing exercise where I drew some, she drew some, and then we switched. And right there, a little spark happened. My friend Sarah, a spark happened. I was like, oh, the old man still got it. I can still draw some things. And I posted it. I got a lot of exposure, and a lot of people say, hey, that's really cool. I didn't know you were an artist. And then Resident Evil RE3 remake was coming out, and as a tribute, to Nemesis, I was like, hey, maybe I'll draw the OG Nemi, and I did this drawing, and then the Resident Evil community kind of blew up and freaked out. And they said, wow, that's great Resident Evil art. And then right there, someone asked me if I would take a commission for a liquor.
Is
And
that how it came about? Yeah.
that's how it came about, just by chance. I never would have thought in a million years that I'd be making any kind of money with my little doodles or whatever. And the pandemic allowed me to do that. I talk a lot about silver linings. And, the pandemic COVID era was tough for a lot of people for a lot of reasons. But a lot of good came out of it, I think. A lot of free time, families got to spend more time with kids and pets and all that stuff, and other pursuits and careers changed and evolved. But I got back to my art, and now I do a lot of tribute art for Resident Evil, take commissions and sell prints as well.
I'm looking at this one of Leon, your ninth piece. Look
Oh,
at this
Gritty
detail,
Leon?
man.
Well, that one took me
Far
about,
out.
thank you. That one took me about 35 hours.
Oh my goodness, 35 hours. Like just the dirt on his face and wow, man.
Well, it's like that there are a million images of Leon that exist online from the game.
Yeah.
I came across this one and I was like, that's it. That's the image that speaks to me, because that's who he is at the end of the game. And I always thought that's what my cosplay is based off of. I created about 2 years ago was gritty,
that
dirty
image?
end of. No, I
No?
haven't even seen that image yet.
Oh, okay.
I did the cosplay before I saw this image, but just gritty Leon, like that's his most badass form at the end of the game.
Yeah.
And that's why I created the cosplay to look like that. And this was actually a commission. I sold that to somebody, and that's one of my favorites I've ever done.
Someone here asked, do you do digital or handheld, or what's the process for you?
It's all graphite, pencil.
Graphite. Yeah. So
9 by
35
12.
hours straight, you and the pencil. That's it.
Not straight, but
No,
it's,
not straight, but I mean 35 hours is just you and the pencil. There's nothing else going on.
nothing else. Nope.
Wow, man. So how long will you take? Is it 4-hour chunks? Is it 2-hour chunks? Like
Depends on how I feel. Anywhere from like 2 to 4.5, 5 hours.
guys, if you want the links, it's on Nick's Instagram page, Nick_Apos. If you want to check out all this art, and make sure you follow him if you're not already.
Thank you.
He could use you.
What did you do with your extra free time during COVID?
You know what,
The
man?
lockdown.
I was working a full-time job in marketing, and
That's good.
and because I love doing YouTube and stuff, I started to take this more seriously, and now I'm full-time YouTube. So I just
Congrats,
went
man.
after it.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Now you're doing what you love.
Exactly.
Talking about things that you love. It's not even work, is it?
Exactly, man. You know what it's like.
good.
It's you don't work a day in your life if you love it, do you?
Hell yeah.
Got some more questions here from these incredible viewers. Hey Nick, love your work. What's your favorite line from Resi 2?
There are a lot of good lines.
A lot of quotable lines.
All the swear words, the curse words are really fun. All the iterations we did, and recording those in the studio was a blast. We we got to do them with so many different like energy levels and everything. So whether you're talking to yourself and you're like, "Fuck you," "Fuck you," or yelling out, "Fuck you," that stuff's always good. But I love when Leon says, "Whatever it takes to save this city, count me in," because I just think that embodies who he is. That speaks volumes to his motivation in that game.
Can I ask, were you nervous first day on set for that game?
I wouldn't say nervous. I was focused.
Yeah. You were focused and ready to just crush it. That was the mentality.
I had to
Yeah.
show up every day, just ready to go.
And so what's the difference from first day on that set to first day on Infinite Darkness?
A different kind of pressure, because now you are reprising a role. There's an expectation, a different kind of expectation. At least people know who you are and what you're all about.
Yeah.
and it was up to me to take my rendition of Leon and evolve him
Yeah.
in a way that was appropriate with Capcom and the director and everything. So uh, again, you just got to show up ready to go. You can't be self-doubting at all.
Now, some people in the chat might not know this, but you were also in Life is Strange, a couple of those games, Before the Storm, I think number 2 as well. How did you get
And then
into those
yeah,
games? And are you looking forward to True Colors coming out this year?
yeah, that franchise really took me by storm. No pun intended. I played a couple. That's really not my type of game, and I really still appreciated it because of the storytelling. It's fantastic. Have you ever played
What?
them?
Why wasn't it your type of game?
I've just been all about action and horror.
Yeah, it's just more story based, not much gameplay.
Right.
Yeah,
That's typically not what I veered towards when I was growing up. I always liked like the shoot 'em up games and stuff like that, like Metroid and all that stuff. Um, and this was just story based. And it like some of the scenarios that you play through, and you decide your path, how your character responds, and it really shows you like human dynamics
mm,
and interaction. And I have a deep respect for that franchise, and I understand why their fan base is growing fast and it's very loyal.
yeah. So that's just all booth work, yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
did mocap for the latest one. I think they're starting to get bigger budgets for mocap, and so I know True Colors is a lot of mocap
And we should see you in
performance
that
capture.
one, hopefully.
I'm not in that one, no.
Oh, you didn't get the call back. You're too busy, eh? With other things. uh, uh, Lanny, thank you for that. She says, with the success of projects like Mortal Kombat and Sonic the Hedgehog, could you see a resurgence in faithful game and movie adaptations?
Well, I I hope we're about to have one with Welcome to Raccoon City, right?
Mm, mm.
I hope so.
Yeah, because I know there's a bit of a stigma in like the Disney remakes. They haven't been that, you know, none of them have recreated what the original's done. Like whatever it is, Lion King or just
Yeah,
Aladdin, or you know what I mean.
it's hard.
Mm.
I, I'm not in their shoes, but I know they have to make like certain changes, and um, they have to tend to different audiences. They have to think about it like that. So I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
It's I understand why it's hard for them. I as a fan too. I'm like, why can't they just make like a Metroid movie? Why can't they do this and this? Like, why can't they make a Castlevania movie? It's just not that easy.
yeah, yeah. Nick, did you do any weapons training for the mocap with shotguns, handguns, etc.?
I was lucky that I had a fair amount of firearms training prior to that audition. I had
Ah,
been
nice.
training with military tactics for 5 or 6 years, and so when I showed up, yeah, I could move like a cop. He wasn't that advanced. I didn't need to know much of anything crazy. It's just like how to draw your weapon, look real, how to take aim, how to tactical roll and come out and aim again. It's shit like that. I've been a stunt guy for 10 years as well, so that all helped in the audition process.
You were a stunt guy for 10 years?
I've been doing my own stunts for a decade. Yeah,
Wow,
yeah,
amazing. And I know you did, is this right? You've done over 100 commercials?
yeah. hmm
How do you go about doing over 100 commercials? That's insane.
You just do them. that it was my bread and butter in Los Angeles
You
for
just do them.
for a good while. But I just want to say hi real quick. Benson Mokhtar, the face model of Carlos in RE3 remake, just saw he popped in the chat.
Oh,
Can you
nice.
imagine? Can you imagine an Aladdin crossover with Resident Evil? Just kidding. If they had, you could play Aladdin in a heartbeat, man. What's up, Benson? It's been a while. Give Benson some love.
That's awesome. How are you, Benson? Oh, it's good to see him in here.
Aladdin.
Have you ever met you two?
I was a guest on his stream. He was playing my game. I popped in for a stream or two. He's a great guy.
I love
Never
it.
met him in person.
Do you miss the cons and all that?
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Can't wait to get back to those.
Uh,
Who in chat is excited for cons? Because I freaking am. I want to get out there and meet all you guys and bring my cosplay.
But you would have done a few cons before COVID hit, yeah?
We did a few small ones. Like we had just got started and we had like another 4 to 5 booked, and then COVID hit and like everything just.
So you're going to have a few requests then once things start to open up. I think they are starting to open up now, aren't they? It's getting back. A lot of people are getting vaccinated and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the world opening up again, man.
Yeah. Roman, can you... Oh, sorry. Step Bro, can you ask Nick about Dead by Daylight? Oh, because Leon's in Dead by Daylight. What's that process like? Not much on your end?
No.
No.
I think they just took the information from the game and plugged it in. I wasn't involved, but it is cool.
Do you even get a call, or do you find out with us?
I found out online. I knew they were going to do something like that a little over a month ago, but until it was announced, I couldn't say anything. But it's just like a cross IP promotion type thing.
Yeah. So what about, because the same thing happened with Monster Hunter? Was that a similar thing?
Similar thing.
Yep. Yeah. Jericho, do you have any favorite movie actors, Nick?
I have a lot. A lot of people that inspired me.
Give me some names.
Well, look, say what you want about their personalities and their private lives, but growing up,
we're talking acting.
Biggest,
we're talking on the screen. Yeah.
My biggest inspirations and influences were Tom Cruise, because he's a very physical guy. He's a great dramatic actor, but he pushes the limits when it comes to action actors, and I respect the hell out of that. Bruce Willis back in the day, in the 80s, was a big inspiration because he really felt like an everyman. I felt like I had a lot in common with his earlier characters. Harrison Ford, he had a lot of similar vibes in the Indiana Jones franchise. He was also like that early 80s action actor type guy. And also the dramatic chops of Mel Gibson. So those are probably like 4 of my biggest inspirations, I would say.
Yeah, say what you want about Tom Cruise, personal, but the guy puts in the work still to this day.
He pushes the limits, and he doesn't let anyone tell him no. And that's why he has his own production company. That guy's not getting any younger. And the shit he does on Mission Impossible, I mean, that's what I want to be doing when I'm his age. And hopefully I'll be able to do that.
He's pushing 60, isn't he? And I mean, he's doing more stunts than people in their 20s. It's unbelievable, really.
Right.
And I'll watch every mission. If he's in it, I'll watch it. I think you're the same.
Yeah.
Is there anything you can say as Leon, Nick? Is there any... People keep asking, and I just want to shut them up, Nick, please.
Say that one more time.
Is there anything you can say as Leon, any line, so we can shut some of these people up?
Okay. God damn it. Is this a fucking joke?
I love how that's the one you go to. What was your reaction to Lady D? Have you seen much about her, Nick, from Village?
She blew up. She
blew up.
a pop culture icon in about
2 minutes.
About a month. In 2 minutes, she just blew up, and I think that was very unexpected.
Oh, wow. And someone else asked here, are you still doing the Dead Space playthrough, Nick?
The playthrough?
Yeah.
I mean, I was playing. I was playing a bunch of. I revisited those.
Oh, okay.
1, 2, and 3. Fun games. Love them.
Ah, okay. Right. So do you have any other upcoming projects, mate, that you can talk about? Anything we should be looking out for with you? Besides, obviously, Infinite Darkness, which is July. Everyone's going to watch here.
That's about it.
That's about
That's
it.
about it.
And
Yeah.
do you think you'll
There's a
do any
lot that I can't
signings
talk
around
about.
that?
Oh yeah, for sure. A
Yeah.
lot of people have been asking when are the signings coming back. I've taken. I got really really busy with work. I would say February, March, April, like all the way till now, and signings will be happening. I have a lot of new artwork coming out. Definitely go to my site. You can check out my art. You can purchase those prints. But we'll be doing a lot for Infinite Darkness. A lot of promotions. We got some big interviews coming out pretty soon with Netflix and stuff. So.
Isn't it great? Netflix, man. You're in the big leagues, bro. Netflix.
It's a milestone, man. Like as an actor, it's not every day you get to say that, and so like, thank you.
Like you see the cover on Netflix, you turn on Netflix, you see your show up there. I mean, is that surreal?
It's pretty big, man. It's
Far
pretty
out.
big. Yeah,
I'd be pinching myself.
dude, I've been pinching myself for 5 years, so I'm very fortunate. I thank my lucky stars very often that I'm awarded these opportunities because a high majority of actors don't really get to say that, and it really just takes the long haul of dedication to understand that you might push towards this thing that you have, this idea of where you want to be, and it's a very high risk, high reward industry. And I sacrificed more than you guys will ever know to be in this position, to be available, to be out of a steady, secure job, to be able to do a game like Resident Evil. And it's taken a lot of sacrifice. So I'm very lucky. And I never forget that. So that's why I live in a state of gratitude all the time.
And yeah, you took a risk because there's a good chance that that game could have flopped, and you might have taken a brunt of you never know in an alternate timeline. There's a huge risk
It's
there.
it's okay though. Look, even if I thought that was going to happen, I still would have taken the job selfishly to be a part of the Resident Evil universe and just to be hired by Capcom, like
Yeah.
a developer who they providing me they have provided me with entertainment for 30 years. And if someone says like, "Hey, you want to work with Capcom?" No, I'm all set. It's like, no, there's no reality I would say that. So I am just thankful that it was received so well, and I think it will be a classic 20 years from now.
Couple more before we wrap up here, mate. Lanny, could we crowdfund a Pong movie adaptation starring you and Benson?
Pong movie. Hey, I would star in a Pong movie. I think Benson would too. Buddy Pong movie. Yeah.
Have you seen the mod? You've obviously seen the mods for Resi 2, haven't you?
Yeah.
Some of the mods videos.
Just about all of them. Yeah.
Yeah, and did you laugh when you see some of those crazy, like Thomas the Tank Engine as Mr. X and
Yeah. I'm still surprised that we never got an Oreo as Mr. X. I don't know if you know that whole thing. It's like
yeah. There's a few
I
people talking about Oreos before.
yeah. I made it like famous that Leon loves Oreos during the quarantine because I was doing all the streams. I always had my package of Oreos because it's my favorite cookie.
Where
of
are
all
they
time.
today? They're gone.
I'm actually on a strict training diet right now.
Oh,
So no
boo.
Oreos today. But in quarantine, it's legit. I ate over 1,400 Oreos in quarantine.
1,400, and you're still
Over-
looking that good.
Over 1,400, I counted.
And just the normal flavor?
Double stuff all the way.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to dabble. I tried mint. I would say maybe like 45 of those are mint.
it's not as good. Not as good.
Dark chocolate, hazelnut.
Nah.
No, they're not as good.
They're not as good. And how do you? What's your process? Are you straight in? Do you twist in the milk? How
I
does
take
a
off
pro
the-
do it?
I hold the bottom cookie. I take off the first cookie, eat that, and then I bite the bottom one in half with all the frosting on, all the cream, and then I just finish it. So I'm like a 3-bite guy.
Ah, okay, that's an interesting way of doing it.
But I don't savor. I could literally eat an entire bag of Oreos if I really wanted to in probably like 10 minutes. Done. Gone.
How many could you eat in one sitting?
I've polished off a pack easily and wanted more, but the reason I stop is not because my body tells me to. It's because I just think I should. I'm like, okay, I'm an adult.
Yeah.
I should probably call it quits and after put it
Punisher
back.
Punisher says Oreo gonna give it to you.
Yeah, yeah.
I think Nick's gonna give it to the Oreo by the sounds of it.
Hey, when this diet is over, you bet your boots.
Oh man. So any advice for actors out there that you want to give? Just some quick advice.
I will give advice to any professional out there, anyone maybe who's finishing up school, who is about to go on the pursuit of something they want in their life. How's that? I'll generalize it.
I love it.
I'm going to give you the advice that my grandfather gave me. Now, don't roll your eyes, anybody. Just hear me out. Before my grandfather died, I was a bit younger, and I didn't really appreciate his words for what they were worth until I got a little bit older in life. And he used to always tell me, he'd be like, Nick, sit down. He's like, when you're pursuing something, if you go for a job, if you want to do this, if you want to do that, he's like, you got to give it 120%. And I would roll my eyes. I'm like, okay. And he said, you have to understand that so many people in this world, they're talented, they are driven, and they're waiting in line to do the exact same thing that you want to do. So don't forget that. He's like, don't let that scare you, but don't underestimate that. And he said, so if you're going to pursue something, you pursue it all the way. Don't half-ass it. You don't give the world 60, 70, 80% of you. Your only chance at making your life what you want it to be, is to give it 120% all the time. The bottom line is don't half-ass it. So if you want to do this, if you want to be an actor, if you want to be a painter, if you want to do anything, mechanic, I don't care. Do it to the best of your ability. There's only one of you in all time.
Great advice. Now I don't want to tarnish the advice by this question, but Alyssa says, Nick, would you marry an Oreo?
It'd be gone in 30 seconds. It's a waste of time and money. Weddings are expensive. Oreos are not.
Oh man, it's been an absolute pleasure. Is there anything you want to say to the fans?
Yeah, to you and the fans, I really appreciate content creators and the people who support them. When this game came out and I started to get involved with the online community, I was always a fan, yeah, but I didn't realize the scope of the fandom out there. And people like you, Dan, you are the connective tissue that keeps everyone together, and you share passions and you develop a community like everyone here in chat. We got 758 people watching. We're all here. This is positive energy. And just keep staying connected, whether it's virtual or in person. Just whatever makes you happy, just pursue that. And thank you to everybody. I've just had the best time with the fans since 2019 when our game came out. I've been a part of this giant family. I will always feel that way. So thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for supporting. Thank you, Dan, for having me. I'm just always in a place of gratitude. There's no other way to say it.
Man, no, thank you for coming on for the last 70, 80 minutes. It's flown by. I don't know where the time went. I just checked the time
it was fun.
That it's gone. So that's when you know we had fun, hey?
Yeah, it was a good time, man.
Hopefully we can get you back once the show, the dust settles on the show.
Yeah, don't forget, guys. July 8th, if you got Netflix, hack into someone's account. I don't care. But watch Infinite Darkness. I hope you like it. We are very excited, and I'm just gonna pop my. If you want to follow me on IG to see some of my artwork or whatever, I'm just gonna pop. My name
links
here
in the description as well. But
cool.
You can pop it in as well. It's Nick_Apos for Instagram. You're on Twitter as well. That's
yeah.
That's different. That one.
I don't know why I did it different. Don't ask me why. I have no freaking clue.
No. You're all good. I'll pop it in now for everyone. Make sure you head over there. Follow Nick. Keep up to date. And again, Nick, I mean, it's been an absolute pleasure. Is there anything Leon can say to Dan as we wrap this one up?
You put me on the spot.
Sorry, man.
Jesus Christ. That's what you get, Dan.
Okay. I'll take it.
All right. Well, much love to everybody. Thank you. See you in Raccoon City.
Take care, man.
Bye.
And there you have it, everybody. Did you have fun with me and Nick? Have we got in here the Hunter, Roman, Lovely, Benson, Bashy Cake, Art, Hamera, CJ, Zeus, Lanny. Am I saying that right? Lanny? Just Vincent, Peaceful Haley, Rain, Yellow T, Daniel, Edward, Mark, Canadamorus, Ants Gaming Suite. I recognize that name. How you doing it? HR Zone, Art, Joey, Josh. I missed the whole interview. Well, you can always go back, Josh. Appreciate you being here. Hollow, Miss Deca Star. Is that a real plant, Dan? No, it's not. Nikki, Eleanor, Explosive Werewolf. What a name. Explosive Werewolf. Alyssa, great questions. Just so you know, my name is Lisa with an E. Elisa. Is that right? Elisa. I'm so sorry. I butcher everyone's name. Take it as a compliment. Alyssa. Elisa. Another great one, Dan. Thanks, Doodle. I appreciate it. Dan, what's your schedule on RE4, Samuel? I'm going to get that stream up very, very shortly, man. I'm going to have a blast playing through that. Emma, Yellow T, Shah, Will, Alan. You're getting good at these interviews. Yeah, you'd hope so after 50, wouldn't you, Alan? June 4th. Joey. Kanad, Art, Vengeful. Dan, your interviews are such a different energy than others. I love it. Thank you, Vengeful. I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. We're trying to create a chilled atmosphere for our guests. Keep it nice and chill. Welcoming environment. Did you know Devon Larrick came in? What do you mean? Into the chat? Really? I didn't know. Thank you, Ari. I appreciate it. Cry Oranges, love your interview, as always, with these amazing people from Ari. Aren't they amazing? Great guests. Nikki's so excited for Infinite Darkness. Me too. I wish it was out already. We'll have to get him back to talk all things Infinite Darkness. Am I on Twitch, Mark? I'm not on... Well, I am on Twitch. Daniel and Gamer, you can follow me. I'm thinking about getting on there a bit more often. To be honest, I am. So follow me if you're over there. Nice interview. Thanks, Titan. Great to have you in here as always. Mr. Doodle, any more RE8 interviews? I got Sarah Coates coming on in a couple of days' time. And I might get adult Rose on, or Rose as the final one. I don't know, guys. We've done everyone in that game. We really have. Alanator. Brad, you just waking up, are you, mate? I love the Sophocles plant emoji. It's good, isn't it? Which Lord is my favorite? Moreau. What a sad story. I'm going to say Moreau today. Because no one picks him. Of all the guests I've asked, what's your favourite Lord? They never say Moreau. You got to feel sorry for him. Do I like indie games, Carl? Of course I do. I love Inside. And Inside, Journey. Justin, your streams and the videos are all amazing, man. We appreciate you. You're the best. Justin, you're the best. Don't make me cry, man. Nah, thanks, man. Explosive Werewolf, nailing these interviews. I'm glad you like my YouTube name. I love it. Explosive Werewolf. I mean, I'm never going to forget that name, man. It's an explosive name. Who's next? Ada. Jigoku Neku. Goku Neku. Ada, yeah. Can't believe no interview with Todd. I know. I can't do anything, guys. I can only try. I've tried to connect with Todd so many times. He just is a very private person, and we have to respect it. You have to respect it. It would be cool to round off the interviews with him, though. It would, wouldn't it? It would really be cool, but... Oh, well. Maybe one day. We never know. He might change his mind, but... Where's the hag, Zeus? The hag ain't coming on, Zeus. You know what happened with the hag? The hag ended up on Instagram, and everyone was following her, all the cast, and then out of nowhere, the hag's gone from... Carol's gone from Instagram. It was like... It was a fake. I imagine if I interviewed a fake, so they came on, and it was just a complete troll. Imagine the embarrassment. You've warmed up to him? Yeah, you've warmed up to Moreau. Outlast is the best indie game. Brad, I don't know if Outlast is an indie game now. I don't know if Outlast is an indie game now, man. Do I play COD? Yeah, Joey, I play every other day, Warzone and COD. What about yourself? Shay or Shah? Shay. Bit embarrassing. Can I get a happy birthday? Happy birthday, Shay. Happy birthday, Shay. I'm so bad with names, man. I bought Outlast right after the beginning. Oh, right at the beginning. Yeah. What's your favorite horror game, Dan? The scariest horror game? Outlast. Scariest horror game I've ever played. Besides the baby in Resi Village. I mean, what a freak of a creature. Ever played a game called The Takeover? Hold on, let me have a look. Look it up. I recognize the name. Let me just quickly look it up and I'll tell you. No, I haven't. Is it any good? Never played it. So it's an old school beat 'em up sort of brawler, is it? You're the best around. Nothing ever gonna bring you down. I like your John Marston poster. Yeah, man. He's coming back on as well. That's happening this year. He's coming back on the show. What about Heisenberg? Supersize bitch. I love Heisenberg. Someone was pretending to be the hag, Paige. Dead set. I have played Little Nightmares. Both are great, Doodle. Great games. Fantastic games. 100% agree. Can we get Paul on? Along with the Resident Evil stream, Hunter. Dude, that's a great idea. You never know. Fantastic idea. The hag was your favorite character? You're the first person to say that, Zeus. Have I watched the Walking Dead TV series, Joey? I have watched up to season 5 or 6. Yeah, I've watched up to 5 or 6, I think. Hi says, the algorithm has blessed me with this channel because of Resident Evil 8. Love the channel and the interviews. Keep up the good work. You're not the only one, Hi. Thank that algorithm. I'm out of it now, but I was in it for a good 20 days. And I welcome a lot of new people, and I love to see you all in here. It's been fantastic. The baby mod makes the newer version worse than the original, can I know? Danny, are there any games coming out that you're looking forward to? GM. I'm looking forward to Horizon Forbidden West, God of War Ragnarok, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, Halo Infinite, Battlefield, Call of Duty, Far Cry. Now those last few, yeah, we've seen 100 of those games. The reason I'm excited for them is how are they going to do it different? How is Far Cry going to be different? It looks a lot different in Far Cry 6. I'm excited. Call of Duty, what are they going to do with that? Are they going to mix it up? Battlefield, excited to see what they do. So, expect a lot of those games to be covered, and whatever, you know, most big AAA games will try and get some of the actors on and that sort of thing. Interview with Jesse. You enjoyed that one, did you, Nenny? That's great to hear. Do any interviews with the God of War 3? Yeah, I'd love to. Love to. Maybe in the lead up to God of War Ragnarok. What's the name of this song? Dude, I love this song, man. It's a banger. Dragon Ball Z, Goku Black Theme, it's called. Bit of Dragon Ball Z, man. I love the music from Enigma, what he put together over there. Unofficial stuff, but it's incredible. Big DBZ fan. Would you consider interviewing more than one person at a time, Daniel? I would consider that. I would. Heading to 150k. Let's hope so, Ari. We only just hit 100 and we're closing in on 150. It's been incredible support. Thank you all for tuning in. Hey Dan, during the interview you mentioned that you were working another full-time job before becoming a dedicated full-time on your channel. What advice do you have to take that leap and commit to your dream? What I did was I went 3 days on the full-time job, so the other 2 days were dedicated to content creation. And then I built myself up until I was getting enough revenue to make the leap. And you realize that, you know, if you've got the passion for it, you just got to do it. You got to take the leap. And I just love doing it. Absolutely love it. I play a lot of games that people don't know. My favorite is Jak and Daxter. I know Jak and Daxter. I've played them all. Got the platinum for all 4, 5, 4. If you include the racer. June 9th is a reveal for Battlefield, I know. I'm going to be live streaming that. My reaction to that. So I hope you'll join me for that, Joey. And all of you lovely people. Interviews with the Final Fantasy VII remake cast, Rainer. It could be on the cards. Could be. Exactly, Ari. So I'll be reacting to the E3 presentations. I hope you'll join me, and hopefully we can get some cool reveals. So all through that week, I'm going to do a lot of live reactions and in front of the computer, and hoping we see some cool shit. Interview with Juan Carlo Esposito will be amazing. I really hope to see it, Nenny. I would love to interview him. Is it going to happen? Probably not in my mind, because he's such a big actor. He's been in some incredible shows, Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul. You know, I don't expect to interview him, but I'd love to. I'd love to. Absolutely love it. But you never know. You never know. I'm going to work with Ubisoft, and hopefully we can get something happening there. I can't wait for Far Cry 6 and Horizon. Yeah, I'm going to be covering both on the channel. Longshot, would you interview Alison Court? What is she known for again? Let me just... I know all these names. It's just hard to remember what they do sometimes. Alison Court. Is she from Game of Thrones? I don't remember. You'll have to enlighten me. Paul says 120% advice is strong. I'm going to overthink that shit now. It is strong, man. There's so many people. It's like YouTube, man. How many YouTubers are doing 110%? How many YouTubers are working on it every day? The dedication I put into this channel, when I was working a full-time job, I worked from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., right? 12-hour day in the field. I come back, and then I'd start recording and editing until 12. That's sometimes the dedication you got to put in. So it's not like it's an overnight success for a lot of this stuff. People think being YouTuber is easy. It's easy once you put in the work and you get a big following. Then it becomes easy, but the build up, it's like my first 20,000 subscribers took years. And then now I've gained 20k in a week. That's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. Some people get up to a cracker and they gain 100k in a week. It's just all over the shop. But most people have to put in the work and grind their way there and get better and hone in on the craft. You know what I mean? And I'm not there yet either. I've still got to keep working at it and keep getting better. And I will hopefully continue to do so. And you'll look back if you've got a YouTube channel. You look back. I look back at videos from a year ago and cringe. That's if you're not cringing or not cringing, but if you're looking back and going, "Oh, I've gotten a lot better," you should be looking back and thinking, "Yeah, I've gotten a lot better since then." Otherwise, you're not doing it right. Hey Dan, during the interview, you mentioned that you were. We read that one. Would you interview the face of me? The face of Mia? Yeah, I could do all these face models, guys, but it's just their face at the end of the day. Gets a bit trivial, don't you think? Nice to know that Dan is on PlayStation. Yeah, I got everything, man. I got PS5, Series X, Nintendo. I try not to pick sides. Yeah, cell theme, Brad. You know it. She was the original Claire Redfield. I'd love to. Love to. Curious to know what your top 5 interviews have been. Okay, I'll put the question to you guys. What's been your top couple of interviews that you've enjoyed on the channel? For me, I really enjoyed my chat with David Bateson, who plays Agent 47 in Hitman. I really enjoyed my chat with Neil Newbon, who plays Heisenberg. Maggie and Nicole were standouts. Fantastic. So fun. Those two. Those two firecrackers. I've got to get them both on at one time. Liam, I'm Australian. But I love New Zealand. Nicole and Maggie, The Witcher Doug. Oh, Doug Cockle. What a great guy, man. I agree, Ari. Great guy. David Bateson and David Hayter. Oh, David Hayter as well, another standout for me. Can't wait to talk to him again. He's fascinating. Oh, Brian Deschard. I'd love to get Brian on. I'd love to get Brian on the show. I think we'd have a ball. Becca was fantastic. Becca was fantastic. And yeah, a lot of people are saying they really like the chat with Moreau. They really like the chat with Jesse. What was it about the Jesse chat that you guys loved so much? It was just a chilled out vibe between two mates, or what? What was so enjoyable about that one specifically, in your opinion? Because he was such a down to earth guy running around in his apartment while we were talking. It was almost like you were dropping in on a phone call, wasn't it? We're just two mates having a phone call. It was like he was moving around and. If Todd was to do an interview, I pray it would be Dan. Thanks, Joseph. I appreciate it, man. Titan, best house tour. Yeah, no, we got a good look at his house. Did we? No, he was a great guy. He was a great guy. His interview was informal and he was disorganized. Something we can all relate to. Oh, shit. Oh, I love when he did the voice, man. That was so funny. But I felt bad laughing. I don't know why, but I felt bad laughing. You like the Angie interview? She's funny. Oh, her voice is incredible, isn't it? Incredible voice. Norman Reedus would be amazing, but he's pretty massive. Could find out what happened with Silent Hills. Oh, Liam, how good would that be? Just to get some insight on what happened there and the transition. It will never happen, I know that, because he's a big-time actor, Walking Dead. But wouldn't it be fascinating to get even 30 minutes with him? Just ask some interesting questions about that and Death Stranding, working with Kojima. That'd be fascinating. Yeah. He doesn't do many interviews. Not very media heavy guy. Very private. I like him though. I don't love Death Stranding. I liked it. Don't love it. Top 5 you enjoyed: Rob, Ben, Neil, Angie, and Bella. Yeah. I have to go back. I don't want to do this. I got to go back and think which one was the worst one. It's a bit harsh. I've been lucky. I think they've been pretty good. A lot of them. All right, guys. Well, look, it's been a pleasure as always. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. Smack a like on that video for me, and I'll see you soon for some more interviews and videos. Plenty planned this week. E3 month, guys. There's going to be a lot of reveals of new games and new exciting stuff. So I can't wait. Take care, guys.